red and black. Dale Earnhardt has done it. Richard Childress knocking on the door to win the Daytona 500 again with driver Dale Earnhardt. For Dale Earnhardt, these are the men he has to look up to on the start of the 500. Next Sunday here on CBS, as they slow them down in the back straightaway, it'll be Kyle Petty on the pole at 189.4. Dale Jarrett right alongside 189.2. 500 next Sunday on CBS. And so for Chris Economaki, Ned Jarrett, Mike Joy, Neil Bonnet, and Jeff Bodine, this is Ken Squire saying so long from Daytona Beach, Florida. Coming up next, NCAA basketball. The Purdue Boilermakers take on the Michigan Wolverines. Then live final round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am.
In celebration of a new style of service, at home and abroad, we now embrace the colors of the world as the new colors of United Airlines. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
It's a top 20 brawl in the Big Ten. Number 19 Purdue battles 7th-ranked Michigan. Today on CBS Sports.
This is CBS.
Deadbolt.
Guys with the old rubber. And then these guys will have to pit on the green flag and lose 2 or 3 laps. So, you know, I said that Presley tricked Nemechek. Now that Despain has told us how the tires are wearing, it looked like he wanted to pit but just couldn't make up his mind. And Nemechek made his up to go in the pits.
So Presley continues to lead, and Jeff Gordon is second under this 3rd caution period. You know, there are lots of things that go on in conjunction with this event here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. It is a big event for the city of Indianapolis. Of course, we have the 500-mile race in the U.S. Nationals here at Indianapolis Raceway Park, but a lot of other things go on besides this race, and one of them was the pit stop competition that was held here just last night.
Jeff Gordon was the hometown favorite here, but his team was penalized and he was out of contention. A crewman for Kenny Wallace's team got so focused on the competition that he didn't see our cameraman Jamie Burns focusing on the action. Look out, Jamie. These teams perform these pit stops every weekend, every race, but when the spotlight is on you, things can go wrong. Just ask the right front tire changer for Bobby Hamilton's crew. The crowd want to see Ernie Irvan, and Ernie Irvan doesn't disappoint. He wheels on to pit road, and the crew changed the right side rubber, simulated a fuel fill up, and got him out of there in 15.5 seconds. 15.462 for you fans of minutia. Now, it's one thing to do your job quickly. It's another to do it right. The NASCAR officials check. Sure enough, the lug nuts are all there and tight. And so crew chief Jay Smith and Ernie Irvan accept the trophies from Raceway Park and the K&K Insurance representatives.
We come back just as the green flag falls. Good timing. Presley leads on lap number 71, but now Jeff Gordon is in second place with Nemechek having gone to the pits for some fresh rubber. Gordon will challenge Presley now, and here comes Jimmy Spencer also. That 4th car there is the Todd Bodine machine number 34.
Looks like Jeff Gordon is really smelling the roses now. He's right on the back of Presley. This is the closest we've seen anyone come to Presley tonight.
It sure is. Gordon is hanging right with him. You know, as Dave was talking about how they were thinking that the tires were going to go away after about 70 laps, there were several drivers that told me last night that they start going away after just a couple of laps. So you got to hang on.
Yeah, the speed goes away quickly in these things.
Now Presley continues to inch away a little bit. Here is Morgan Shepherd, and he's moving up again, Benny. He's passing the Ricky Craven car, number 99, and Nemechek is right behind him, moving up through traffic.
Nemechek has those fresh tires. Let's see if he can stick on the bottom of the racetrack. He tries.
It's not very easy, though.
Sure isn't. Maybe he can get a run on Morgan as he come off too, but he can't. Morgan's had, looks like he's got his car running pretty well, because I don't think he went in the pits this time. He did maybe a caution flag before, but not this last caution. There we see Ernie Irvin. He made his pit stop. He's trying to go by Tommy Houston in the blue and white 6.
This action is just behind Nemechek. There is Tom Peck in 19 and Ricky Craven in 99, and Ernie Irvin is coming through. Stand away.
He's still running that very low groove coming off turn 4 and pulls up almost alongside Tom Peck.
He seems to be one of the few that can make that low groove work for him. He stays even with Peck through the corner.
In turn 3, now if we were doing a midget race, we'd be calling a slide job here, wouldn't we?
That's exactly right. But he made the pass. Now here's Tommy Houston pulling alongside of Tom Peck. And he's going to pass. Tommy Houston won this event in 1983. Has competed in every single event since it has been known as the Busch Grand National Series.
It looks like he's running pretty well.
Yeah, it does. Currently in 9th position after starting back in 17th. And Dave has been nosing around in the Houston pit to find some information for us. Dave?
Actually, Bob, I wanted to make an observation about what you guys would be doing if you were calling a midget race. Believe me, if this were a midget race, there'd be 6 cars out there, number 6, and 3 of them would be black. So you guys are real lucky that you're here on Stock Car Night. You only got Tommy Houston to deal with.
I knew you'd mention that before the evening is over. Yeah, everybody has a different number in this kind of racing.
There's the blue and white 6. There's Nemechek trying to get by Morgan Shepherd still.
Todd Bodine just ahead. Nemechek has moved up to 6th position already. So those new tires are working for him.
But right behind him is Ernie Irvin, who is gaining on these fellas. And Irvin went in the pits as well, so he has some fresh tires. And look at him go.
He ahead for the low groove that he has been working. Hey, that was easy.
And he made that pass look awfully easy.
Morgan Shepherd is now just ahead of Ernie, along with Todd Bodine.
This is a race for 4th.
Boy, Morgan, whatever was wrong with Morgan's car, they got it fixed.
I think he changed tires, which helped his car considerably, and also adjusted the chassis. Now Ernie going by on the outside.
He can go high, he can go long, he can go anyway. He's looking to the inside now, Todd Bodine, and trying to pick up 4th position, which he will do entering turn 3. Irvin is on the move. It's Presley, Gordon, Spencer, and now Ernie Irvin, and the fans here on the main straightaway are standing and they're cheering and they're saying, "Go Ernie."
They're loving this, every minute of it.
Nemechek goes inside of Todd Bodine.
Nemechek has those fresh tires. Todd Bodine not made a pit stop yet. And there goes Ernie on the inside for 3rd spot.
Yep.
He has it.
Irvin began in 14th position on the restart on lap 71. It's now lap 84, and he has moved to 3rd.
Ernie takes the car in high now, but he still brings the car off turn 4 lower than anyone else.
So it's still Robert Presley leading, and Jeff Gordon running in 2nd position, but some great action behind there at Indianapolis Raceway Park and the Grand National Kroger 200.
Mark and my relationship goes way past business. I'm sure in a previous life he and I were twin brothers. Throughout the race, the driver and crew chief communicate. The driver complains about the car or brags about the car. It's the crew chief's job on pit stops to make whatever fixes he can to help the driver's predicament. Everyone has about the same access to equipment and technology, but the people who rub on it the most and think the most of it and think about it the most will end up winning the race.
This is Ford's newest car. It doesn't have a sticker price. There's no choice of colors. And it has to be driven 4 times the speed limit to be appreciated. The new Ford Cosworth Indy car. If you think our technology looks impressive here, just wait till you experience it down the road. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Coming up tonight on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, American League West contenders Mark McGwire and the Oakland A's wrapping up a weekend series at Royal Stadium against Kansas City. John Miller and Dave Campbell call the action at 8 o'clock Eastern. It's America's Game of the Week, ESPN Sunday Night Baseball.
Well, that's at 8 o'clock tonight. We welcome you back to Indianapolis Raceway Park, and look what is happening. Robert Presley is continuing to lead, but it is Ernie Irvan who has moved to second, and now Nemechek passes Jeff Gordon for third. Hey, those new tires definitely make the difference.
Those new tires are making a big difference, and here's Ernie trying to make a move on Presley.
He heads for the bottom of the racetrack.
He's going to come off turn 4 on the inside. Let's see if it will work.
Low coming off turn 4. He has Presley at the line. Let's see how they shake out going into turn 1. They're side by side. Irvan trying to wrestle the lead away from Robert Presley. He does.
He does it. That's pretty impressive, hasn't it been?
Man, it has been a tremendous move toward the front. He restarted 14th, and Ernie Irvan is now the leader after just 19 laps.
Here comes Nemechek right behind. He's going to be challenging for second place in just a lap or so. But Ernie's car running on the bottom of the racetrack better than any other car I've seen.
Here's 5th, 6th, and 7th. That is Spencer, Morgan Shepherd, and Tommy Houston in number 6. We mentioned that Houston has competed in every race that the Grand National Series has run, so obviously he has competed in every race here at IRP, and as a matter of fact, he's the only driver to compete in all of them. Working the low side of Morgan Shepherd. The leader of the race, and we go down to Dave Despain on pit road once again.
As you can appreciate, it's very noisy down here. Sometimes sign language is the key to communication. A Busch official has just come here to the Irvan pits. There was a lot of finger shaking. I went to the official and said, "What's going on with Ernie Irvan?" And the signal was, they've warned Ernie Irvan that he's making too much contact out there in that charge toward the front. Ray Smith is now the crew chief on the car. What did you tell Ernie after the warning?
I told him that he was in the lead now and he could take it a little bit easier.
That's a very diplomatic answer. Did you see him hit anybody?
No, I didn't see him hit anybody, but after we've been running so good, I guess they don't want us to get too aggressive. So we'll just kind of go as it is, see if we can win another one.
So they've calmed Ernie Irvan down. His car is in the lead. Let's go back topside.
Well, that's a call that the NASCAR officials have made. I didn't see anything particularly aggressive about Ernie's style, but obviously they did.
No, I didn't. I didn't either, but they saw something I didn't.
But he has made an impressive move to the front. Ernie Irvan leads this Kroger 200, and we go back to this battle now. 5th and 6th position. Tommy Houston has successfully passed the 21 car of Shepard and Jimmy Spencer, and it's pretty obvious that Spencer's tires are pretty wore out.
Yep, he needs to go in the pits. And I'm sure that Robert Presley right now, and watching these cars drive by and go away, as a matter of fact, Nemechek has taken over that second spot from Presley. I'm sure he's saying, why didn't I go in the pits and get me some tires just like the rest of those boys?
And now, as we approach the halfway point, they got to really be thinking, are we going to go the rest of the way without a caution? If so, I made a bad decision.
Bad decision.
Butch Miller goes inside of Jimmy Spencer.
Tries to make that pass, can't make it.
Nope, can't quite do it. Try it again, coming off the corner, down the front straightaway, going low once again, as Irvin did a while ago. Pulling alongside of Jimmy. And now he makes the pass.
And goes away. Butch Miller has the Hoosier racing tire on his car. 2 or 3 guys tonight racing the Hoosier. Tracy Leslie was one.
There is the leader working traffic now, putting a lap on Jeff Burton in car number 8 and approaching Ricky Craven in car number 99. The driver who was so successful in Busch Grand National North competition. Hut Strickland leads this group of 5 cars down the straightaway.
That's Ed Marie at 49. That's Tracy Leslie at 72. Tom Peck at 19. And Ward Burton in the 27 car. And Bob, we've gotten halfway.
Already?
Man, that was a quick 100 lap, wasn't it?
Carl Simmons is showing the cross flags, so that means that we have reached the halfway point. 100 of the 200 laps completed. It has been Robert Presley in the early going, and now Ernie Irvin so far.
Maybe it's because we're accustomed to doing, Tracy Leslie once more almost bumped. Maybe it's because we're accustomed to doing 500 laps.
That's right.
And the halfway point is 250 laps.
Yeah. Hut Strickland, car number 7.
Harry again was doing the IROC race yesterday,
which was won by Jeff Brabham, by the way.
That's correct.
Ward Burton in number 27 and Tracy Leslie in 72. Leslie was the reason for the most recent caution flag when he spun out in turn number 2 and tagged the wall, but he's back in competition.
And just to bring it up to date, Ernie Irvin has put about a third of a lap on Robert Presley in just these few laps since he passed him, Bob.
Tracy Leslie's best finish in 1992 so far has been a 4th at Myrtle Beach in the Budweiser 250. There's Irvin. Boy, he is just pulling away from everybody. Has almost a full straightaway lead on Joe Nemechek, who is running second here in the Kroger 200. 104 laps completed. We'll be back with more coverage right after this.
FBI statistics report that 1 in 40 cars will be stolen this year. Will your car be next? I'm not an actor. I'm Captain Jack Cleric. This space used to have a car parked in it. The owner will be back shortly to find that his car was stolen. He could have prevented this theft had he installed the club on the steering wheel of his car. The club is a bright red, tough tempered steel bar that cannot be cut and attaches to any car's steering wheel. Once attached, it makes steering impossible. Plus, because of its high visibility, an auto thief will walk away from your car and look for an easier, unprotected target. After testing, we recommend the club for Operation Lockup. So why not do what millions of other Americans and police officers are doing? Protect your car with the club. But please beware of cheap imitations. Make sure that the anti-theft device you buy says the club on the handle.
The Club, now available at most stores where auto supplies are sold.
Shape up with ESPN's Midday Workout. First at 11, Body by Jake gets your engine started with a workout and great health and fitness information. Keep on going at 11:30 with a well-rounded routine on getting fit with Denise Austin. You'll keep on moving at noon with aerobic exercise on Bodies in Motion. And then at 12:30, Body Shaping helps you tone up and slim down. It's better to look good and feel good on ESPN's Midday Workout.
Back at Indianapolis Raceway Park, and we're watching the battle for 5th position. Jeff Gordon and Tommy Houston go at it, and here comes Morgan Shepherd to make it a 3-car battle. Jeff Gordon on some worn tires trying to hang on to that 5th spot, and so far he's doing so.
But I don't think he can last too long because these fellows on the pressure tires will look at Tommy Houston pull alongside.
And now he'll make the pass, or he'll try to make the pass down the main straightaway into turn number 1, but Jeff tenaciously hangs on to that 5th spot. Now Houston gets a good bite there in the middle of the corner and again pulls alongside as Morgan Shepherd watches things from behind.
He's trying. Come on now. Go on, Tommy. Get on by. Houston almost can get by, but
no. Jeff's doing a good job hanging on. There, he got it.
Yeah, he got Jeff just a little bit too high down between 1 and 2, and he was able to move up the racetrack and get a better bite the way he went.
With the report on pit road, here's Dave again.
Defending race champion Bobby LaBonda, you recall, involved in an early crash, got hit squarely in the left rear wheel. They sent the car back out, and now the axle has broken, and it would seem reasonable to speculate that that was related to that impact. They've taken the car behind the wall. The defending champion is in for extensive repair.
We will have a new winner here tonight, as we suspected. Butch Miller has come on now to challenge Jeff Gordon. Now, all these positions that are being changed, yeah, they mean a lot in terms of track position, but as long as these guys can stay on the lead lap, we're going to be okay. But Ernie Irvan is moving through traffic very, very quickly.
Very quickly. There he goes. He is just flying.
He is. That Kodak car is leaving everyone in its dust. He's now coming up on Red Farmer in the 28 car. Now, Red has been off the pace since the drop of the green flag.
Did I see sparks fly on the back of that 4-car?
Did you?
I don't know. I thought I saw some sparks as he went down the back straightaway.
Now coming up to put a lap on Todd Bodine to number 34. And look how easy it is for Ernie.
He made that look easy, didn't he?
Man, he did.
There he goes. I didn't see sparks that time. He's still running that groove off forward lower than anyone else.
He's on a track all by himself. Last night, Ernie's team, as we told you and showed you, won the pit stop contest. Yesterday was not a good day for Ernie personally. His brand new motorhome coach was involved in an accident. Then he asked him about it.
Well, all I know is it made it 100 miles from the factory where it was built, and some guy in a Camaro ran into the side of it.
You've got to be kidding.
Oh, I'm not kidding. So it hasn't been a good day today. And then I took my new race car and crashed it too.
What'd you hit?
The wall. Just a little bit though. Just seeing how fast I could go.
Well, that was yesterday, and obviously it didn't hurt the car any.
No, he just drove the right rear quarter a little bit, and he found out how fast he could go, and I tell you, he's applying it tonight.
He's about to put a lap on Jimmy Spencer. Boy, do a lot of guys out there want a caution flag. Spencer just drops to the low side of the racetrack and lets him go. Not much you can do.
There isn't anything you can do.
Second place car is Joe Nemechek.
He's about a straightaway behind Ernie Irvan. There's boy BB that Irvan is trying to get under and pass, and he does it as he's just been doing everything in the last 25 laps with ease.
Next car he'll lap will be Bobby Dotter.
Here comes Joe Nemechek.
Yep, that's the interval between first and second.
That's the Texas Pete Chevrolet.
So you can see that it's a rather comfortable lead for Ernie Irvan at the moment. But we are just past the halfway point. In fact, 117 of the 200 laps completed here at IRP, the great racing complex on the west side of Indianapolis. It also, of course, contains the drag strip on which the U.S. Nationals will be run. Here's our race summary. Close call down there in one. Ernie has led 23 of the first 113 laps. 3 cautions, 23 laps. We have 16 machines now on the lead lap. Make that 15 as one goes down. Presley and Irvan have only been the 2 leaders here tonight. And and we take a look at those that have dropped out of competition. Lassiter, Robinson, Waltrip, Hamilton, and Bound all dropping out because of accidents. But everybody is okay as the race continues, and Ernie Irvan leading. Here is Kenny Wallace now coming up on Jeff Gordon. This would be for 8th position.
And look who's right behind these guys.
Yep.
Swerving.
Oh, Irvan hit the wall in turn 1.
Something happened to his car.
He just drove it into the turn 1 wall, sending up a shower of sparks. Well, he appears to be
his car's slow because here comes Donner back.
He can't control it.
He's got a flat tire or something.
Just when everything was going Ernie Irvan's way, he rubs the wall in turn number 1.
We can see the damage to the right rear when he went up and hit the wall.
Boy, lucky break for Jeff Gordon and Kenny Wallace, who were about to go a lap down, and I'm not so sure but what they're not going to anyway, because although he has slowed, it isn't very much.
I can't believe that. He went up and hit the wall, and he still after outrunning these guys.
He sure did, and sparks went everywhere, and I thought, oh boy, his race is over, but not so at all. Well, here's what happened, Benny. Maybe you can discern something.
Well, he gets in the corner, and he gets in too hard, it looks like, and gets the car sideways, has to go up the hill, and look at this. Gets in the wall and just puts in throttle to the metal, and away he goes.
He talked just a few minutes about how he did the same thing yesterday, but look, it isn't slowing him up very much because he has just put a lap on Jeff Gordon. Wow. I can't believe this.
I can't either.
You go up and hit the wall, and you hit it pretty hard, and you damage the right side of the car, and I'll be darned, you still are on the gas, and you're still lapping those that you would think had a chance of winning. We'll be right back.
It was 8 o'clock in there, right? Yeah. My truck wouldn't start. And the lights worked, but the engine wouldn't turn over. So I figured it must be the starter, right? Well, I went to AutoZone. They said, let's test it. Turns out it was okay. So we tested my battery and found that it just didn't have enough juice to crank it. Now get this. I didn't have to spend a dime, because they even charged my battery for free. Get out. That kind of service? Hey, you just can't beat it.
Al Unser Jr. knows what it's like to win the Indianapolis 500 with 0.04 of a second to spare. Mark Martin knows if he lets someone cross his wake at 200 miles per hour, his car may be doing the lambada. And Joe Amato knows that at 296 miles per hour, he must pull his chute at precisely the right moment to keep from becoming an astronaut. Apparently, it is what you know.
Historic Watkins Glen, a demanding road course that produces the most exciting finishes. Now it's new and improved and tougher than ever. The Budweiser at the Glen, Sunday afternoon live on ESPN.
Track Facts are brought to you by Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil. Here's Dave Despain.
Thank you, Bob. When Mac McClellan barrel rolled up the front straightaway here at Indianapolis Raceway Park, his 10-year-old arm restraints broke, and that contributed significantly to the injuries that he sustained. And so arm restraints are very much a topic of conversation, and Bobby Labonte is one of the few stock car racers using the restraints. First of all, tell me why. Did what you saw on television and what happened to Davey Allison contribute to your decision?
Well, actually, I started using them back in February at Daytona. I use them more on a speedway than a short track, but, you know, I've seen Darrell flip over at Daytona last year, and it just seems like a pretty good idea when your arms do get out of the window or out of the cage if the roof comes apart, then it's just a good idea to have them. So I started wearing them back in February.
Give us just a quick run-through of how it works and what it does and why it makes you feel safer.
Well, I'm not a sprint car expert, and they probably know more, but you put the restraint on your arm like this, and then you will attach it to your seatbelt down here, and you put the other one on, and you attach it to your seatbelt, latch it, and that gives you control. You can drive the car, but yet at the same time, if you do get upside down, your arms can only go so far.
Suffice it to say that arm restraints are what the smart race driver is wearing in 1992.
Couple of races next Sunday here on ESPN. First of all, at 1 Eastern time, the Budweiser at the Glen Winston Cup race from Watkins Glen, New York. And then at 3:30 in the afternoon, we have some IndyCar racing for you. The Budweiser Cleveland Grand Prix from the runways of Burke Lakefront Airport. We have a caution on the racetrack because of debris on the track, and that is something that is much needed for many of the drivers. Here's Dave Despain in Ernie Irvan's pit.
The leader is on pit road for right side tires only. You may note, I don't know if you can see it from this perspective, that Ernie Irvan is actually pitted on the back row of pits, but he's all the way down toward the turn 1 end. The only thing that could go wrong for Irving seemingly in pits, but no problem. Could you see the damage on the right rear of that car? That's where he hit the wall. Robert Presley got so far behind, he elected to go for a 4-tire pit stop. Nemechek has come on pit road to get change of rubber, also a 4-tire stop. So now the tire advantage may be reversed. Irvan got only rights. The guys that will try to chase him down got all 4.
And Dave, you might check and see why Jeff Gordon hasn't pitted yet.
Jeff Gordon remains on the racetrack for some reason. There is Robert Presley, who was just about to go a lap down to Ernie Irvan when the yellow came out for debris here on the main straightaway. So it was a big break for Presley. But here is Jeff Gordon, and
I know why he couldn't pit, because he's a lap down.
That's right.
He's a lap down.
Only those that were on the lead lap could come in that previous lap, and now everybody else can come in. The speed limit on pit road is 35 miles an hour, as we see some debris also in other parts of the racetrack, not just here on the main stretch. Jeff Gordon comes in. They go to work on the right side of that Baby Ruth Ford.
Changing the right sides. The jack man, Bill Davis, helping the right front man. Now they're going to change 4 tires. Bill hustles around to the right side. And the car is going up. There's a lot of time to do this. 24 seconds, 25. You see a lot of cars leaving. That's the Hungry Jack car right behind Jeff Gordon. He gets the pit stop completed in 32 seconds. You say, well, these guys are slow. Well, certainly they're slower than Winston Cup guys, but pretty good pit stop. 4 tires and a tank of fuel.
Back down to Dave Despain.
Jeff Gordon has come in for a 4-tire pit stop. He is still a lap down and will have a tremendous amount of catching up to do. It was very obvious here last night that Jeff Gordon, whose shop is just across the road in Pittsboro, Indiana, has a huge local following. Let's meet the kid and talk about his season.
For several years, Jeff Gordon was the class of the competition here at Indianapolis Raceway Park, winning regularly and making quite a name for himself. By the end of 1990, Jeff figured he'd gone about as far as he could go in open wheel racing, and he began a new career in stock cars. In 1991, driving the Bill Davis-owned Ford Thunderbird, Jeff was named Rookie of the Year. This year, he won his first race at Atlanta, has accumulated 7 poles, 1 other victory, and has led more than twice as many laps as anyone else. Despite the success, it's been perhaps his toughest year in racing. Incidents at 2 recent races dropped Jeff out of the top 5 in points. And it's provided him with some valuable lessons about running for a championship.
Even though I've been in the Busch cars for over a year now, I'm so used to wanting to just drive right to the front and win that race. And there's still a point where you gotta say, hey, you know, definitely want to finish this race. Try to make it a top 5. If you got a chance for the win, the win.
Jeff admits that with every lap he runs, there comes a new learning experience. He learned that controversy can be a bigger story than winning. That's what happened earlier this year when Jeff announced that he'd be running in Winston Cup next year for Rick Hendrick in a Chevy, not a Ford.
A lot of people jumped the gun and said Jeff Gordon's been brought up by Ford Motor Company over several years. And I think, first of all, they have done a lot for me in the last year, year and a half, but that's as long as I've been involved with Ford, and there weren't any contracts, or, you know, we had talked, and yes, I wanted to stay in a Ford, and we were going to try to continue working with Ford, but there were no definite decisions on what Jeff Gordon was going to be doing in 1993.
But in Jeff's mind, 1993 was the year he wanted to go Winston Cup racing. He says he didn't sign with Hendrick because of the money, but because they both share a burning desire to win. To them, the team is the most important thing. Hendrick is building a new shop for Jeff, who will have as his teammate another former open-wheel star, Ken Schrader.
There was so much that went into making this decision, and you know, I don't think that I just 1 week, Rick Hendrick says, here, you know, I want you to drive my car, you know, he did not offer me millions of dollars, not upfront, not long term. You know, money was never even spoken until after I had already made the decision that, you know, I want to go with this team, with these people, with these motors, with these cars, because I feel that that's going to be the best package for Jeff Gordon for 1993 and so on.
And what a bright future this young man has in the world of stock car racing, Bob.
Jeff Gordon proved himself in the open wheel cars, moves to Grand National, and now in 1993 will have the Winston Cup ride with Rick Hendrick. We're about to go back to green on lap number 139, I believe. Hard to read the scoreboard. I believe that's it. Here they come down the straightaway. Ernie Irvan is still the leader. Joe Nemechek is in second, as those on the lead lap are on the inside and the lap cars are on the outside, and you're sure as the world going to see some guys trying to get their lap back.
I tell you what, we are going to see some awfully exciting racing right now, because here's a guy with 4 tires. There's a Presley guy back there with 4 tires. Spencer has probably been in pits and has 4. There's Presley with 4 tires.
If they can get their lap back and we have another caution, they'll be in good shape. We'll have to wait and see how things go, because Ernie Irvan is taking no prisoners here at Indianapolis Raceway Park tonight.
There we see Nemechek trying to get alongside of Ernie Irvan.
Good battle up front as Nemechek challenges Ernie Irvan now. He made a run on him that lap, and he's going to do it again here coming off corner number 2. That car of Ernie Irvan's is not as fast as it was.
No, he has done some damage when he hit the wall. Not much, but he has done some damage.
Nemechek looking inside.
Here they go.
Ooh, they almost touch coming off corner number 4. Nemechek is going to get the lead. Joe Nemechek takes the lead and becomes our 3rd leader of the evening. And now we have to ask ourselves, can Nemechek hold on and gain his first win in history in this series? He's the points leader but hasn't won a race.
Here's Robert Presley, our pole sitter, trying to get on the inside of Tommy Houston. And meanwhile, Houston is trying to get by Irvan.
Houston looks inside of Ernie. This is for 2nd position. Tommy picks up the position, and here comes Robert Presley and Spencer.
I think that Dave Despain is correct. Ernie probably should have changed 4 tires instead of just 2.
And Robert Presley is in 3rd position and looking very good. And man, if he can come out with a victory here, he will thank a well-timed yellow flag that saved him from going a lap down and allowed him to go onto pit road and get some tires. But look at Jimmy Spencer. He's going to mix it up a little bit with Presley.
He sure is. Spencer trying to get alongside Presley. Now Presley, all of a sudden, he was the guy trying to pass. He's being passed.
Spencer goes inside of Presley. They may have touched there in the 3rd corner as both of them have to hit the brakes. Now Spencer draws alongside of Presley on the main straightaway. This is the battle for 3rd spot, as Nemechek begins to pull away and Houston runs in 2nd spot. Here is Spencer and Presley going at it tooth and nail, and Jimmy gets 3rd.
And pulls up in the back, right in front of Robert Presley. Now Tommy Houston just a few car lengths in front of Spencer.
Spencer is not on the lead lap. He's a lap down.
Oh, he is.
In 7th position.
No wonder he's driving like a man possessed.
The NASCAR scoring officials have straightened us out on that. So Jimmy is just simply trying to get up front to get his lap back. All right, so it's Houston 2nd and Presley in 3rd. But look at Spencer. Past Tommy with relative ease. Here's Robert Presley looking for second position into turn 3, and Steve Grissom has a problem.
Looks like the sway bar arm has fallen off the car and is dragging the racetrack.
Here's your 1990 winner, Steve Grissom, in trouble as sparks are flying from that race car, and the NASCAR officials have black flagged him. Here is the leader of the race, Joe Nemechek, as we have completed 150 of the 200 laps at Indianapolis Raceway Park in the Kroger 200.
He breaks a tackle into 5, slides into second, rounds the backstretch, dribbles between the legs, shreds the mogul, catches air, skates past center right, serves an ace, connects.
The Suzuki Dual Sport 350S, the ultimate cross trainer.
And what a ride!
Richard Petty, the only driver ever to win 200 Winston Cup races, all on champion spark plugs.
Jerry, your help out here really does make a difference in the way I run.
Well, Richard, this is our testing ground. It makes a difference in the way we build our spark plugs, too.
They work for me in both my cars, whether I'm racing or going home. I depend on champion spark plugs.
For more racing action, be sure to watch the Champion Spark Plug 400 on August 16th.
Which publication tells you about hundreds of great jobs open across the country right now? High-paying professional, managerial, and technical jobs. The National Business Employment Weekly. Which publication helps you land one of those jobs with articles on how to sharpen your resume, how to shine in interviews, how to market yourself. The National Business Employment Weekly. Which publication helps you do better after you land a great job, get along with your boss, get a raise, get promoted. The National Business Employment Weekly, published by the Wall Street Journal. It's all you need besides your own ability to land and do well in the kind of job you've been looking for, in a part of the country you'll enjoy at a salary you can be proud of. It's all you need. Get the National Business Employment Weekly at your newsstand, or order by credit card and get 8 issues by first-class mail for $35. Call 800-372-3000. 800-372-3000. The National Business Employment Weekly. Don't make a career move without it.
The Suzuki GS 500E. It hustles and still leaves cash in your pocket.
Coming up later tonight here on ESPN, the Baseball Hall of Fame inductions. Tom Seaver and Raleigh Fingers, 2 of 4 men to receive the National Pastimes Ultimate Honor. We'll have Sports Center at 7:20. It's baseball tonight. And at 8 o'clock, the Athletics versus the Royals on Sunday Night Baseball. Right now, we get back to the action of the Kroger 200 stock car race with Joe Nemechek looking for his first victory. Here's Bob and Benny.
And it is Nemechek leading the race, trying to stave off a challenge from Robert Presley, who is about a half a straightaway behind. So Nemechek is looking good at the moment. This is his 80th career start in Busch Grand National competition. He has been a second on 4 different occasions. There is second place Presley. So indeed, Robert is closing in.
He is closing in, and Robert had to get by Jimmy Spencer. It took him a few laps. He also got his tires a little bit harder than he wanted to, but he finally was able to make the pass, and now the only guy he's got to catch is Nemechek. And can he do it in the time remaining, 38 laps? What do you think?
I don't know. Robert's been pretty fast. There's no question about that. He was the pole sitter, and I wouldn't doubt but what he could chase down Nemechek and win, but it would be nice to see a first-time winner here tonight in Joe Nemechek.
See, Robert, it looks like the cars are just about even, so I think it's going to be a traffic. How they work traffic. If Nemechek should run across 2 cars running side by side for position, and they don't want to give up and let him go by and let Robert Presley catch him, then anything can happen.
He is the points leader in Busch Grand National competition. So, Joe, are you and your team focusing more on the championship or getting a victory under your belt?
I would have to say victory is what we're focusing on. The points race, I don't want to get caught up in thinking, well, I'm going to head by 10 or 20 or 30. We go to each race. We go there to win. The Texas Pete Chevrolet is running so good, and we're getting our setups better. We're getting better engines. And the better we get the car, the more it makes the driver step on that gas pedal. And we keep getting closer and closer in the front. And
hopefully soon we're going to win that first race.
It could be tonight at Indianapolis Raceway Park. He's first in points, but 15th in the laps led department. But he's adding a few to his list tonight.
He certainly is. He's moved up a couple of spots tonight, for sure. There's Red Farmer in the Havoc Ford, replacing Davey Allison.
Boy, it hasn't been a very good night for Old Red, who's substituting for Davey Allison.
There's Mom.
Yep.
Martha Nemechek.
She's saying, come on, Joe, hang on. And Joe comes in to put a lap on Hud Strickland.
And does it with ease.
Puts another lap on Hud Strickland, I should say. Hud is running in 15th position, now 2 laps down.
Morgan Shepherd in 21, Todd Bodine in 34, and the 75 car. Butch Miller, the Food Country car. And Hungry Jack, the sponsor on Todd Bodine's car.
Now, Bodine is not on the lead lap as Shepherd and Butch Miller. This is the battle for 5th position between Morgan and Butch.
And they're wishing that Todd would get out of the way, right? Butch Paul back in behind once again. Well, spoke too soon.
Yep. Butch using that low line down in turns 1 and 2. 170 laps completed, only 30 to go in this one.
Yeah, nothing is changing. Butch is still trying to get by, and almost got together as they came off that second corner.
Paint trading there between Bodine and Butch Miller. Morgan Shepherd hasn't competed in too many Grand National races this year. This is only his 6th start. Finished 3rd at Charlotte. Miller closing in on him.
And Bobby Donner, he's looking over all this.
Donner is also a lap down. He's in 11th place at the moment.
So I guess he and Todd Bodine are racing for 10th.
That's correct. Now Butch pulling alongside of Morgan. Trying to take that 5th place away from Morgan, and he does. Butch Miller goes to 5th.
And here comes Bobby Donner on the inside of Todd Bodine, trying to take that spot away. Bobby Donner said he had about 50 fans coming down from Chicago. This is the closest track to his hometown of Chicago. He wanted a good run tonight. Also had a local sponsor on his car. Some drug food stores. I forget the name of them now. I'm not doing them any good, am I?
Bodine and Morgan Shepherd now side. Morgan may have lost the handle on that car.
Looks like he has lost the handle. He lets these guys go on, and they're racing hard for position.
Here's Nemechek continuing to lead. That's Jeff Burton in car number 8 just behind him.
Tell you what, it'd be interesting to see how close that Robert Presley is to Nemechek and see if he's gaining on him.
Yeah, about 1.5 seconds, Benny.
1.5 seconds. Well, I tell you what, these people, when you ask for something, they give it to you, don't they?
Johnny on the spot. So it's only a 1.5 second lead for Joe Nemechek. Robert Presley is running in 2nd spot, and we're less than 25 laps away from the finish of the Busch Grand National Kroger 200 at Indianapolis Raceway Park.
A real sports coupe is more than fancy technology. It's the perfect balance between the needs of a driver and the needs of a curve. With a pure, focused performance that makes even the same old road seem new. Because it's not the road you take, it's how you take the road. The all-new 24-valve Ford Probe GT. Have you driven a Ford lately?
65 years ago, Sears introduced Craftsman tools to America. And during this anniversary sale, get a Craftsman 16-gallon wet dry vac. Sears most powerful, only $99.99. Plus hundreds of other great values now at Sears.
Get hooked every Saturday morning on ESPN Outdoors. It's an adventure you won't want to miss. Explore the world's best fishing holes and hunting grounds. Learn how the pros don't let the big one get away. Experience ESPN Outdoors every Saturday morning on ESPN.
Jenkins, Benny Parsons, and Dave Despain back at Indianapolis Raceway Park in the Kroger 200 NASCAR Busch Grand National Race, which is being led right now by the 87 Texas Speed car driven by Joe Nemechek. Second place is Robert Presley. How far are they separated? Well, it's exactly the same as it was a few laps ago. So Presley is not closing in on Nemechek. It's a 1.4-second difference. Is Joe on the way to his first win? I'll bet his mom hopes so. Right, Dave?
You bet she does. I watched Martha Nemechek for 10 straight laps. She got this little arm pump down every time Joe went by. But now you know you're getting close to victory. One lap it's the arm pump, and the next lap she's taking pictures of Joe. Is he going to hold on and win this thing?
I hope so. I hope God is with us.
What's the thing you're most worried about right now?
Something happened. Never can tell. I just hope in my heart we can win.
That's Mom Nemechek. She's pulling for him. She's taking pictures. She's pumping her arm, and she's pulling for the finish.
Less than 17 laps to go. Can't forget what happened here a year ago when we had a caution and something went wrong with Chuck Bound that denied him victory here. Look at this. The average speed is 82.2 and the track record is 96.9. That was the race that was run without caution, and we have had 4 here this evening. That's the reason why our average speed is below the record. Here's the battle for 4th position. Ernie Irvan and Butch Miller, as Butch is doing a fine job.
He's running Ernie Irvan's groove on the inside. Gets alongside Ernie. He starts saying he made the pass, but they're side by side. This is turn 1. About where Ernie hit smacked the wall earlier on. Takes that spot away, so he is now 4th. Here's Butch Miller.
Yep, Miller is 4th, and Ernie Irvan drops back to 5th. Ernie led much of the middle stages of this race, and then got up against the wall in turn number 1 and banged it and damaged the right rear of the car, and the car hasn't been right since.
So right now, Ernie looks like he's just riding this thing out and trying to see the end.
There's a lot of traffic back there on the backstretch.
Roy Beebe at 24.
And Todd Bodine in 34. Butch Miller got his first career win at Indianapolis Raceway Park here in 1986. Been an up and down year so far for Butch Miller in Busch Grand National competition. So Butch, what's the problem? Why haven't you done better this year so far?
And our biggest problem has been mechanical failures. It seems like if we're running really, really good, the car is going to break. And it's not a matter of if it's going to break, it's when it's going to break, because it's going to break. And if it's running bad, it will never break. I mean, we could run until, you know, the cows went home or the fat lady sang or whatever. But we could run forever if that thing's running bad.
I think maybe the worm has turned, to use another cliche, for Butch tonight, because that car is running well and it's hanging together, and he's only got 12 more laps to go.
Well, that's right. He's up to 4th place now. If he's the lead lap, I don't know if he's the lead lap or not.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so he's running 4th. Is that good or bad in his mind? What do you think?
Well, I think it's pretty good.
You think it's pretty good? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then hang on for about 11 more laps, Butch.
Butch's best finish this year has been a 3rd. That was at Darlington. So he'll take a 4th position. There's Nemechek, 10 laps to go now.
And let me tell you something. Robert Presley is not gaining.
The interval between the two staying just about the same at a second and a half.
As a matter of fact, I think Nemechek might be gaining on Presley. We'll see. Maybe we get another interval, or we can just visually tell. Where is he?
There he is.
There he is.
Yep. And Dave Despain is in Robert Presley's pit.
We just checked with Ricky Pearson, the crew chief for Robert Presley. I got one of those one-word answers that you really like. The question, can you catch him? The answer, no. They are conceding to Nemechek, and I think tires are probably the key issue here tonight for Robert Presley. Remember, he got stuck out there mid-race for a long run when he had old tires and everybody else had the new stuff.
Yeah, that could be the story of the Kroger 200 in 1992.
But Preston went in and changed 4 tires, and I think at the same time that Nemechek went in. So basically, the tires ought to be even.
There is Joe Nemechek, driver from Lakeland, Florida.
Well, I tell you, you talk about a pumped-up young man. Now, there is one sitting in that race car right now.
He has only 6 more laps to go, and he will register his first ever win in Busch Grand National competition. But the race isn't over yet. Can he do it? Well, if you'll rejoin us in just a few minutes, we'll show you at Indianapolis Raceway Park.
In the history of Winston Cup racing, there have only been 9 men who have captured the crown. They charge with passion, fury, and determination. Join these champions now as they celebrate the 20th anniversary of Winston Motorsports. Minted in fine silver, this official commemorative coin collection spans the entire history of the Winston Cup Series, from Petty in '71 to Earnhardt in '91. Each coin is beautifully embellished in their likeness with their winning years. Struck and hallmarked in 1 ounce of fine silver, serial numbered and registered in your name. Fans collect all 9 coins and receive this solid cherry display case of $50 value absolutely free. Each individual coin with your favorite champion is just $29.95. To order, call now 1-800-582-5100. Start your commemorative collection today for just $29.95. Fans, call now 1-800-582-5100.
Winston Cup racing. It's been one heck of a ride.
The 50-yard. Indoor war. The rock and roll fury of arena football. The playoffs begin Saturday night on ESPN.
5 more laps to go for Joe Nemechek, and he will win his first Busch Grand National race.
What was it last year? The Chuck Bound, was it 10 laps to go or something?
Yep.
That the seat belts came unhooked?
Under a caution, he reached up to adjust his seat belt, and they came unhooked until he stopped in the middle of the backstretch to hook them up again instead of taking the chance of having a crash and being unprotected.
Here comes Joe off turn 4, car running just flawlessly. And 4 to go.
196 laps have been completed, and the record crowd here at Indianapolis Raceway Park has seen a great race that starred Ernie Irvan in the middle stages, Robert Presley in the early going, and has had a star of Joe Nemechek in the last few laps. Off of corner number 4, completing lap 197.
Nemechek just went by Steve Grissom in the channel lock car, and Grissom's had some tough trouble. He just had a right rear tire go flat a moment ago.
There's Butch Miller, car number 75.
Just blows by Hut Strickland in the Mac Tools car.
Yep. Butch is 4th. None of the other cars there in the shot on the same lap as Butch.
The red car is Todd Bodine, the yellow car, Bobby Dotter. Once again, racing for position. And 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go for Nemechek.
Just 2 laps around the 5/8 mile oval at Indianapolis Raceway Park. He's on the backstretch, headed for turn number 3. This time around, he'll see the white flag from Carl Simmons, and there'll be 1 more circuit to go. Here he is. White flag is waving, and a spin by Jeff Gordon and Ricky Craven. They've come together in turn number 1, and this race is going to end under caution. And Joe Nemechek. Oh my gosh.
Look at Martha. She's about to have a heart attack. Oh, sit down, girl. He
came so close, he had to get on the brakes, and the car almost got out from under him. He almost made contact with Ricky Craven, whose car is stopped up in turn number 1. But here he comes down the main straightaway, and the checkered flag falls for Joe Nemechek. He wins the Kroger 200 in dramatic style. We thought it was going to be a boring ending, and there ain't no way.
There's Mark. Look at him. Is she happy or what?
Mom Martha and the rest of the crew celebrating the first win of the season and the very first win ever in Grand National competition for Joe Nemechek.
Then Robert Presley drives up beside and congratulates Joe on his first victory.
Let's go to Dave Despain.
I'm about to get mobbed down here. Martha, do I get one of those kisses? How does it feel?
Oh, it's wonderful. And I thank you for the first time that you interviewed Joe.
What did you think when you saw him almost pile into that crash down there?
I didn't know what was going to happen, and I don't count until the last lap.
Well, the last lap's all yours. Go celebrate.
Thank you so much.
There's a happy and proud mom right there. Martha Nemechek celebrating. Joe Nemechek has won his first Busch Grand National race. We'll be back to talk to him right after this.
There's a place where the deer aren't exactly timid. Where the catch of the day can feed you for a year. And a place where hunting bird is duck soup. Now you can discover all these places for yourself on the Suzuki King Quad, the only one with integrated rear drive and front differential lock. After all, when you're hunting dinner, you don't want to become the main course.
Hey, I like to save money as much as the next guy. But what are the odds that there's going to be a sale on the parts you need when your car breaks down? Babe, it's not going to happen. That's why I go to AutoZone. I mean, sure, you could wait around for a couple weeks and maybe beat their price by a few pennies someplace else. But I don't want to wait for a sale when I need a part. Now, what more could you ask for?
It's yours?
No, I
Mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys must
have what?
Look, Dad, it's
Where
not
did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
Drivers, start your engines and get ready for takeoff on an airport runway that doubles as a dangerous road course. The Budweiser Cleveland Grand Prix, Sunday afternoon at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Well, the record crowd is making its way out of Indianapolis Raceway Park. And Benny, you and I sit at home or in our hotel rooms every Saturday night and watch the action on Saturday Night Thunder with the Sprints and Midgets. And by golly, the stock cars gave us a good show, too.
I'll tell you what, it was exciting. Even full-fendered cars can get around this racetrack and make it exciting.
And it's nice to see Joe Nemechek win his first victory.
It's always good to see that first victory, see that pure joy.
And what is he going to do in Victory Lane? Well, let's find out. Here's Dave.
I think we're part of the biggest party that we may have ever seen on Saturday night here. Joe Nemechek, how does it feel to finally get it under your belt?
I tell you what, the Texas Pete Chevrolet ran like a Cadillac tonight. I mean, the thing just drove so good. We had the perfect setup under this car. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better car. Dennis Boyd in Orlando, Florida, he built my engines, did one heck of a job. Just everything went good. You know, I got to thank all the fans here. I've had a great time in Indy, and I'm looking forward to coming back.
You've had a lot of time to anticipate this moment. Is it everything you dreamed it would be?
Oh, yes. Well, I got to let it sink in here a little bit. And the end of the race come around, and they come on the radio and said there's 10 laps left. And I'm like, well, there's nobody else up here. And it was just great.
In about 5 seconds, tell me about turn one on the last lap.
Well, I was coming down the straightaway, and someone yelled on the radio, crash in turn 1 and 2, and I got in the corner, and there they were, and I turned the car sideways, and I thought I just might hit them, but I cleared it and come home from there.
And the rest, as they say, is history. Joe Nemechek has won his first Busch Grand National race. We'll be back to wrap up the story of the Kroger 200 right after this timeout. Stay with us.
To celebrate 65 years of Craftsman tools, Sears is having a big anniversary sale. This Craftsman 25-gallon, 3.5 horsepower compressor, only $299.99. That's a terrific price. Plus hundreds of other values, now at Sears.
Allister Jr. has the lead. One more turn to go. Here they come. The checkered flag is out. Little Al wins by just a few tenths of a second. Perhaps the closest finish in the history of the Indianapolis 500.
Here we go again, guys. Wow, I feel good. Yeah, this guy really gets around. He's got the auto lights. American Orient Paul, we're guaranteed. I feel good. Yeah, 2 years, no matter how far he goes. That's why we've been everywhere. Vegas. I feel good. Yeah. Daytona. LA. Wherever we're going. The Superman. Yeah. And we're not even tired.
You'd think the world would be nothing but a blur at this speed. But at 200 miles an hour, a lot of things become clear. Like what technology can help make our cars perform better, our trucks tougher, and help make them all safer for the street. Because at Ford, we want to stay ahead in more places than just the racetrack. Have you driven a Ford lately?
The Kroger 200 is history, and history is just the word. Joe Nemechek scores his first victory over Robert Presley, Tommy Houston, Butch Miller, and Ernie Irvan. This Speed World special, ESPN's exclusive coverage of the Kroger 200, has been brought to you by Fram Oil Filters. Fram, you can pay a little now or a lot later. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. Few things are more fun than to be part of a race driver's first victory, and it was a great thrill to join Joe Nemechek in Victory Lane here tonight, and I thoroughly enjoyed the Bob and Benny show. Final thoughts from Topside, guys.
Well, we had fun too, Dave. You know, the thing that I'll remember about this race, Ernie Irvan's great performance in the early part. No, Jeff Gordon, the hometown favorite, didn't win, but I'll also remember a first-timer in Joe Nemechek.
That's what I'm going to remember. Joe Nemechek winning that first race, and Martha, his mom, as excited as she got.
And he retains the points lead, needless to say. In fact, he lengthens his lead. Robert Presley is second, followed by Bobby Labonte. Kenny Wallace is fourth in the Busch Grand National point standings. And fifth is Todd Bodine. So that's going to do it from here, Dave. Thank you for allowing us to join you, and we'll see you later.
Another thoroughly enjoyable Saturday night here in Indianapolis. Next up, Baseball Hall of Fame induction. Stay tuned for that from Cooperstown, New York. For Bob Jenkins and Benny Parsons, I'm Dave Despain. So long from IRP.
Vivid example of what happens when you get into a sport with an engine, because it can blow up right in front of everybody.
So Scott Brayton will fail to finish. Now his 8th failure to finish in 11 Indy 500s. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC station.
If you don't like the looks of your car, shoot it with Son of a Gun from STP. Shoot the dash, seats, tires, and roof. Son of a Gun protecting. Man, what a difference.
With Minwax polyurethane, you can do more than admire your wood. You can live with it, too, because Minwax contains pure urethane oil to protect wood while giving it beauty you can really live with. Minwax keeps wood beautiful.
Need a fresh start? Get the battery that's proven to start over 50,000 times. Motorcraft. Motorcraft quality parts from Ford.
Thursday. A senseless killing
Yuri's dead, and everybody else thinks you got something to do with it.
turns the townspeople into judge and jury.
Gotta get him before he gets us.
Now it's vigilantes the boys are after. And all new young riders. Then, when his archenemy returns from the grave,
Murdoch is dead. He's not dead. I saw him. Dead men don't play games.
Mac comes back for one last case. It's a classic MacGyver. 2 cool shows, one hot night, Thursday.
When you don't like it too bold, and you don't like it too smooth, you'll like it like this. When you don't like it too heavy, and you don't like it too light, you'll like it like this. Finally, the best of both brews, Bull Genuine Draft. Cold filtered draft beer taste blended with the character of a malt liquor. So when you don't like it too wild, and you don't like it too tame, you'll like it like this. Schlitz Malt Liquor Genuine Draft. The draft makes more than a beer.
I really love waking up.
There's no one like you.
Feels like a day for a change.
Wonder what you will do.
A freshly baked 69-cent biscuit with sausage from Burger King. That's what I need today. Only 69 cents.
What do you say? What do you say?
Fantastic. A Burger King sausage biscuit for breakfast. Only 69 cents.
It's a delicious morning, and I'm here with the
Raceway at Burger King now.
This is the network television debut of Goodyear's newest blimp, Stars and Stripes, which was christened on Good Morning America recently. It's piloted today by Larry Chambers. There it is. Beautiful machine. Giving us some great shots from high overhead. We anticipate a green flag shortly. Look at the Buicks. We started the race with 12. Only 5 are left. Guerrero, Bachelor, Sneva, Fox, John Cack Crawford, and Brayton. All by the wayside, though not all due to engine failures. Some accidents involved in that as well. The last, of course, Brayton. As the green flag comes out, and you watch Michael Andretti work the 5/8 of a mile straightaway at Indianapolis. And just that fast, the 5/8 of a mile are gone. Into the short chute at the south end of the track. And look how he pulls away from the rest of the field, right out to the green. You never saw anybody else in the shot. Michael Andretti, a tremendous run. And Paul Tracy apparently in trouble. The last Penske car, and another car into the wall. Another car into the wall.
Vassar. Jimmy Vassar. Wow. One of the really top rookies in this field, a man with a big future.
Yeah, you would think by now, with the problems that these drivers are having, and the other guys have with their cold tires after these restarts, that they'd go a little bit easier, Paul.
You know, they may not understand what's happening.
Isn't that the kind of thing that they would go up and down the pits and tell everybody to be concerned with, Bobby?
They see this all around the track, believe me.
All right, let's go down to the pits, Gary Gerald.
Well, we're down here in a bit of a traffic jam, and Scott Britton is out of the cockpit. You were running so good, but it just didn't run long enough, and that's a familiar theme, unfortunately.
Well, you know, it is and it isn't. There's been a lot of cars and engines that have gone out so far, but really I think what happened to us, Gary, is that the temperature's so cold out there right now, and with the immense amount of yellows we're having, which we didn't anticipate, we're having a hard time getting temperature in the motor. So when you're coming up and off of boost, it's a big temperature cycle on the engine. And so I don't know if that's what did it, but I was trying real hard to get around Rahal there at the end, and I'm sure I had some strong numbers at the end of the straightaway with drafts.
What about all of the incidents? Has that been a problem of temperature with tires?
Well, it hasn't been a big problem with tire temperatures, because the tires, Goodyear's done a really great job. They're gripping real good. I had one stint in there where it was a little bit loose, and it was, I had to make adjustment on the car, but that hasn't been a problem.
Scott, let me slide back here. Here's Jim Wright of the Buick Company. You've been working on these engines. I know that every year you make gains, Jim, but here you are again, not maybe to finish the 500 miles.
Yeah, well, we've still got a few out there that we're hoping that'll finish, but, being that Scott is a partner or is owner of the business, you always pull for him too, but we just got to go back and do some more work, it looks like.
All right. It's an emotional, tough moment for these people. Let's go to Jerry Punch.
Dr. Henry Bach had just come out of the care center here just a moments ago, and was giving us a report on some of the long list of drivers. Let's listen in.
Some report on his x-rays.
Okay, Henry, you just came out. You have a list of injuries on certain drivers that have been brought in just moments ago?
Tom Sneva has been released from Methodist Hospital in good condition. His x-rays were negative. Jim Crawford is going to Methodist, as is Rick Mears and Emerson Fittipaldi and Mario Andretti. Rick Mears sustained injuries to his left knee, and we'll get x-rays of that in his feet. Emerson Fittipaldi has a puncture wound to his left knee, and Mario Andretti has injury to both of his feet, the extent of which we won't know until we see his x-rays.
So a lot of reports pending here from the Hanna Medical Center. Let's check into the pits with Jack Arute.
Jerry, I'm with one half of the ownership team of Bobby Rahal's car, Carl Hogan. And Carl, you guys have made a decision to keep Bobby out on hot tires. You come in, take fuel, but you want to keep the heat up, so you're going to use used tires.
Yeah, well, first of all, we think part of the problem might be the cold tires. It's a cold track. The cars really haven't been able to get too much speed. The other problem we've got, of course, is that we're getting very little tire wear. So the tires are good. We'd rather send them out on the first lap with good tires. We think their grip will be good.
Well, that's some good news. Let's update you, too. The concern early on about the Fords, whether they would be able to go the distance with the fuel available, all these cautions Ford engineers tell us have thrown those concerns out the window. They say they've got plenty of fuel till the end.
Well, that's good news.
Well, I don't think the Ford engines have had a problem with fuel in the beginning. There's only a couple of the Buicks with a mono valve.
No, in fact, just the opposite on the Fords. They've been in pretty good shape. We look once again at the situation that brought on our latest yellow.
That was Vassar.
Jimmy Vassar caught the wall.
And you can see the same problem.
Exactly the same thing, isn't it?
Just loose adhesion, and of course the rear end's always the one that breaks away first. And it just looks like a replay of almost every accident we've had today so far.
We're hearing a lot of guys are getting hurt here. This is very bleak.
Yeah, that's not a great list that Dr. Bach gave us. There's Vassar.
Yeah. Just a one car.
Right down in the apex.
Very fortunate.
It was almost a two car right there,
Yeah,
Sam.
you bet. Sure was. John Andretti missing him by inches.
Remember, they did a lot of work on John Andretti's car to get him back in the action. Here's the view across the short chute. A lot of damage to the right side of that car. Let's go down to the pits. Gary Gerald is with Rick Gallis.
Rick Gallis, this is turning out to be a most unusual Indianapolis 500, but right now you're one of those teams where this race is coming into your hands.
Well, we've planned it a little bit like this, Jerry. We knew it'd be hard running with the Fords with their aero package, but we felt the car's been working good. Now it's getting quicker. I mean, we just run 2:21 and we're back on the lead lap, so you never know.
At 2:21 and back on the lead lap, what have you had to do in terms of adjustments to get you up to that speed to get into this position?
Well, Al's real good at working with the car during the race. He just absolutely never gives up, and we got Alan Mertens here, and we've been working to get the push out, and they've done a good job. We had a good pit stop, and so, you know, stranger things have happened.
How concerned are you about the Fords that remain and set the pace?
I'm always concerned if people are in front of me. I want to beat the people in front of me. It doesn't matter if they're Fords or Chevys or Buicks or whatever, so we're just going to run our race and do the best we can, and hopefully at the end we'll be there.
All right, that's Rick Gallis calling the shots for Al Unser and keeping an eye as well on Danny Sullivan. Paul?
And Jimmy Vassar being taken to an ambulance now after his accident. The Hanna Emergency Medical Center much too busy today. As we take a look now at cars out of the Indianapolis 500. And there are right now 19 cars still in the action. Guerrero didn't start it. Eric Bachelard, Tom Sneva, Scott Pruitt, Gordon Johncock. Neither one of those is a result of injury. Philip Gosch, you saw him.
Think back to how many of these were crashes, Tim.
Yep. Stan Fox was involved in the accident with Gosch. Rick Mears, Jim Crawford, Emerson Fittipaldi, all in the same accident. Mario Andretti in a solo accident. Scott Brayton had his engine let go. Paul Tracy pulled to the inside just at the same time that Jimmy Vassar was catching the wall to bring out the current yellow.
Looked like on Tracy that it was an engine on his, Paul.
That Valvoline race summary, I'll tell you, it's very revealing to see how many of those were accidents. And it is also revealing, there's Lynn St. James's car momentarily in the pits, to see the really great drivers in this sport are coming to the fore right now at the front. Driving conditions are very, very difficult out here right now. And we've got on the leaderboard, Michael Andretti, Eddie Cheever, Ari Luyendyk, Al Unser Jr., Bobby Rahal. These are very, very good drivers.
Three four-time winners started this race, Bobby. One of them is out, Rick Mears. A.J. Foyt is 14th, 3 laps down. And your brother, Bobby, Big Al, is 7th, 1 lap down. We're still under yellow at the Indianapolis 500.
Come on!
real beer refreshment that's less filling. Miller Lite's everything you want a beer to be.
Cold Miller Lite, I like it like that.
Tomorrow, cash machines.
Come on, Miller Lite's in that. Come on.
When we ask a race engine to do 500 miles, it's like asking a streetcar engine to do 100,000 miles. And we're asking it to do it on no oil changes. Longer engine life is everything to a race driver, so we rely very heavily on our motor oil. Longer engine life and better engine protection are definitely the two things that you can expect out of Pennzoil. And to me as a driver, that's the most important thing you can say. Performance, protection, quality. That's what Pennzoil means to me.
All of these championship-winning drivers have one thing in common: Goodyear Racing Eagles. The race-winning technology that's found in the Goodyear Racing Eagles can also be found in the world's best-selling line of high-performance street tires, Goodyear Eagle Street Radials. The champions know, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Olympic glory used to depend on muscle, talent, and heart. Now you can add digital computer analysis, retinal scanners, and more, and that costs money. That's why every time you use your Visa card, money goes to help the U.S. Olympic team. So pull for the team and pull out your Visa card. Because at the Olympics, they don't take excuses, and they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Many of the drivers, like Scott Goodyear there, very wisely weaving back and forth, trying to keep heat in their tires on this cool day in Indianapolis, keeping the temperatures up so the tires will adhere as we're ready to come back to a green flag.
They just need to keep that rubber working like a rubber band. The temperature won't come in right now, but they need to work it, Paul.
Michael Andretti, car 1, the leader of the race. Here we go. Second place.
Eddie Cheever, second.
As the green comes out, the field comes back up to speed.
Boy, they are accelerating very early. They picked up the power in the short chute between 3 and 4 long before they were inside of the green.
Another car into the wall. Like you say, Bobby, it's surprising that they have not learned the lesson.
Well, I really think they have, but I don't think a lot of the drivers remember the old days when tire temperatures were so important before Goodyear figured out how to work the rubber. And the guys are just having a problem with it. And it just doesn't look like it's going to get any better. You see guys like Ray Hall and Big Al and Little Al, guys